Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I am just doing another declutter video. It has been about 6 months since I've done one of these, and so it is time that I go through and do another one. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you stick around by subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below what you'd like to see from me next. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to start out with eyeshadow palettes. This one from Tarte I will be keeping. It has 4 liner shades and 16 shadows. I think this is such a fun palette. It's organized so well kind of by shades and tones, and it has a matching liner with each look. Really great palette. I definitely want to depot this because I feel like the packaging is really bulky and kind of hard for travel, and some of these liner shades I would love to get to travel with. So really cool palette. I will be keeping this one. Next, I've got this Flawless Matte Palette from Makeup Revolution. It's so hard to open. So this palette is really great for beginners or for someone who wants to kind of explore different tones and undertones and shades of matte shadow. It retails for about $15, so it's really, really affordable, but I haven't used this or touched this in about a year, so it is time that I declutter this. So I'll put this in my little declutter pile. The Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, I love. You guys know that. I think this palette is so beautiful. It's got a mix of warm tones and cool tones. Great transition shades. You can do a neutral eye or a glam eye. It's fantastic, so I will be keeping this. Next, I want to go through my 2 palettes from ColourPop. I have the You Had Me at Hello and the I Think I Love You palette, and I've got Dream Street on the way. So the You Had Me at Hello palette I think is just beautiful. I use this all the time, every day. It is in my everyday makeup box. I love this palette, and unfortunately it has made me love it more than the I Think I Love You palette. Now I think this palette is so unique, but I just don't use it, and so I really want to declutter this to a friend who would enjoy it and have a lot of fun with this palette. I think it's beautiful and I would recommend it to anybody, but I'm just not using it. So I'm going to hang on to the You Had Me at Hello palette, and I am going to declutter the I Think I Love You palette. Next, my Naked 2 palette. You guys, it is time that I declutter this palette. To be honest, I haven't used it in the longest time, and although it is a beautiful, beautiful palette, I just think there's better ones out there, and as you guys can see, I've got tons of palettes in my collection, so I will be decluttering this one. And then I will be hanging on to the Jaclyn Hill palette. I think this palette is absolutely beautiful. The shades are gorgeous. I use this palette at least once a week, multiple times a week, and I think it is just a fantastic value for the shadows that you're getting. So as you guys can see, I will be keeping 4 palettes, and I will be decluttering 3 palettes in the trusty declutter box. So now let's get into some single shadows, highlights, and blushes. So first, I just want you guys to see that I will be keeping my Jaclyn Hill Champagne Face Palette collection. It has 3 blushes and 2 highlights, and I love this. It goes in my everyday makeup bin. It's my favorite. This e.l.f. Illuminating Palette is really, really great for wiping away bake or adding a really, really subtle highlight to the face. I will be keeping this even though I don't use it every single day. I think it's a really great highlighter. This highlight from Pixie and Aspen Ovard I will be decluttering, you guys. I just don't use this. I feel like it's really, really powdery and chunky, and I feel like other friends would get more use out of it. Same goes with this Catrice highlight powder in the shade Champagne Campaign. I just haven't used this in the longest time, and the first time I ever used it, it doesn't build up on the face. It doesn't give you a really stark highlight. I just don't use this, so I will be decluttering that as well. I love this highlight from e.l.f. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it's in the shade Moonlight Pearls. It's one of their baked highlights, and it gives you such a wet look to the skin. It's fantastic. I also really love this highlight from Tarte. This is in the shade Stunner, and this is gorgeous. A really, really great highlight, and I would definitely recommend it. Just so you guys see it, even though it's not in this box, I use Flexitarian from ColourPop all the time. It is in my everyday makeup bin, and I love this. I think it's such a great highlight. So now moving on to, oh, I've got one more. Cover FX, keeping this. Custom Enhancing Drops, awesome. So for highlights, I'm keeping 4 and getting rid of 2. Now for blush, I've got a bunch of blushes in here, but I just kind of want to talk about a couple. So these blushes from Physicians Formula are really great. They're really subtle. They're not super pigmented. They just give this gorgeous glow and flush to the cheeks. I will be keeping these even though I don't use them every single day. I use them every once in a while for bridal makeup or wedding makeup, and I think they just give the perfect glow to the cheeks, and they're a really great blush topper. So once you have the pigmented blush on the cheeks, going over them with this is a really great way to kind of blend the highlight to the blush. So I'll be holding on to those. Wow, English is hard. This Makeup Forever blush is gorgeous. It's got a perfect sheen. It's so pretty, and I use this one all the time. It was a sample, but I love it. And then I've got two blushes from Tarte. I recently decluttered my Tarte blush in Celebrated, but I'm still hanging on to Exposed, and I'll be hanging on to Partey. These two are really pretty. And then my Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Dusk, I love. This is such a natural looking blush. It looks beautiful mixed with bronzer or used as bronzer, and I really, really love this. So here are the blushes that I will be keeping, which is pretty much all of my blushes because I can't get rid of them. Single shadow wise, I will be throwing away these three. They're just some single shadows from Benefit that I got in one of their boxes a long time ago. I haven't touched them in forever, and it's time they get decluttered. Same goes with this, wow, dog hair, MAC eyeshadow. I've had this for the longest time, like since high school. And it's time that I throw this away, which makes me really sad, but it's time, you guys, it's time. This single eyeshadow from L'Oreal in the shade Cafe au Lait is fantastic. I use it for contour, so I will be hanging on to that. And then this shade from Benefit in the shade Call My Bluff is also a really great single eyeshadow. Once I use this up, I will definitely get rid of it and not repurchase, but it is a really great eyeshadow for setting the lid before going in with your entire eyeshadow look. And then this shade called Glass Bowl from ColourPop is the most unbelievable, gorgeous single eyeshadow in the world. I use it on every single look. I used it the other day and one of my friends saw it on my eyes and was like, that is Glass Bowl. And I was like, yes, it is. It is so pretty. It is absolutely stunning. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's like this perfect pink tone, but it flashes blue. You just can't show it on camera, but I will be keeping this as well. So here's kind of what I'm keeping with blush, highlight, single shadows, and here's what I've decluttered, and there's my trash can. Super exciting. So now let's do single eyeshadows really fast, and then we'll get into lips. So for single shadows, I just want to show you guys really quick. I've got three shades in here. There's Smash, Truth, and Waddles. I use these single shadows every day. They're in my everyday box, and I think they're beautiful. Or I kind of switch out every week, maybe with those shadows. They are really, really gorgeous, and I really enjoy them a lot. So going into these, I'm going to declutter one of my Lunch Money highlights because I just don't. I've got another one right here. I've got Wisp, and I think another friend could really enjoy that. For single shadows, I will be decluttering Mittens and Central Perk. These are kind of burgundy purple tones. I just don't use them. Same goes for this shade right here. Nope. The shade, which is the shade Muse. It's kind of this red pearlized shadow. I just don't use this. And the same goes for both Glow and Brady, which is this kind of reddish tone. There's dog hair everywhere, you guys. Dogs. So yeah, I'm decluttering those, and I'll be keeping the rest of these for now. I love this as a liner, and some of these metallic shades are just gorgeous. So these are the ones I'm keeping, and these are the ones that I am decluttering. So now let's move on to lips. This is going to be a process, but we're gonna do it. So first I've got Studded, Kiss, and Ruby Woo from MAC. I will be hanging on to those. I really love my MAC lipsticks, you guys. I think they're beautiful and they're really, really fun. I will be decluttering this from e.l.f. It is in the shade Touch of Blush. I just don't use this, so I will put it over here. I think I've used it once, so yeah. This shade from Rimmel, it's one of their Kate Moss lipsticks. I will be getting rid of that. Same goes for the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit. I just don't use this. It's in the shade Rebel Rose. It's a beautiful liquid lipstick, and I'd highly recommend it, but I just don't wear liquid lipsticks. Even though I will be hanging on to Notion from ColourPop, it's one of their ultra matte lips just because I want to have an ultra matte lip. It's not my favorite in the world. I definitely prefer the Creature matte lippy sticks, but I like having a liquid lipstick just in case. And then I will also be hanging on to this little Tartist lippy paint. I think it's really, really beautiful. It's a really great nude shade. I will be getting rid of this Buxom lip gloss. I got this as one of my 100-point perks, and I honestly just don't like the way it makes my lips tingle. And I'll be getting rid of Vaseline as well. I have switched to using my GlossierBomb.com, and I prefer that to Vaseline. I'm going to hang on to this Kiko lipstick. It's in this really bright kind of reddish pink shade, but it's like the perfect Barbie lipstick, and so this is pretty much why I'm holding on to it, is if I'm ever dressing up as a Barbie or really want a bright, bold lip with kind of a nude eye. I think it would look really pretty. I'm also going to be keeping this little Kiko combo, which is a lip liner and a lipstick. This is a dupe for MAC Ruby Woo, as well as ColourPop Trust Me. So I'm going to be keeping those just because it's a perfect true red, but this duo literally lasts all day on your lips. It's fantastic. I'm also going to be keeping the Marc Jacobs Pout Liner. I think it's gorgeous and I really, really like it. I have decluttered my Marc Jacobs liquid lipstick. It's kind of like a liquid lip creme. It's beautiful. I have a whole video on it and I love it, but I'm decluttering it just because I just don't really reach for it, and I feel like someone else could enjoy it more than me, so I'm decluttering that. Not this, the other one. Just whatever. This is an eyeliner, and I'm going to keep it. I'll put it with my mascaras. Not sure why my eyeliners are in this pile, but whatever. Let's see. This is a black lip liner, and I'm not going to be keeping this. I'm going to be throwing that away because I just don't use it. And now looking at my lippy sticks, let's see, I got the shade Aquarius and Oh Snap, which I use all the time. Same with the Aquarius lip pencil and the Creature lip pencil. Love Life I'm going to declutter. I think my mom would love this. It's a really pretty brick red lipstick. And then Trust Me, like I said, I'm keeping, oh, then what is this? This is the Generation X. I think it was a collab. I got this as one of my freebie items with ColourPop, and it's a really cool orange red, so I'll be keeping it. Then we've got Tootsie and Parker and Crack Me Up. Crack Me Up and Tootsie are almost the exact same shade, but I'm going to be keeping both of them because Crack Me Up is discontinued and Tootsie is gorgeous. Parker I will be decluttering because it's just a little warm tone and I don't really use it. And then I'll be keeping my NARS in Cruella. In my everyday lips, my everyday box, I think it's just Aquarius, so it's not in there. Okay, that made no sense. Sorry, you guys, I'm kind of zoning out. So here's what I'm keeping, and here is what I am decluttering. So let me just put all of those back in here for lips. Yay, awesome. So now let's move on to lashes. Are you guys getting bored? Because I'm not. I am just getting started. I love these Kiss lashes. They're fantastic. And for lash glue, I love this Strip Lash adhesive from Kiss. It is a fantastic lash glue. I did just throw away my Ardell lash glue, and this is terrible. Do not get this. It burns your eyes, and it's not good. So we're throwing that away. Let's see. For liners, I will be decluttering this liner from Essence. It's just a black liner, but it's not waterproof. It's not long lasting, and I wouldn't recommend it. This one from NYX, which is this beautiful teal color I've had forever, and so it's time I throw that away as well. And then this liner in Get Paid is beautiful. It's from ColourPop, and I'll be keeping it. Same with this Perversion liner. It is a felt tip liner. I don't use those all the time, but I want to have one in my collection. And then the liners that I use every day is this one from Tarte. It is definitely waterproof. It's this really pretty brown. And then this liner in the shade Honeydew. It is beautiful. I use it on my lower lash line and I love it. So liners I'm keeping, and I'm not decluttering any because decluttering eye products is kind of gross. You can't really clean them. Like when it comes to eyeshadow and stuff, whatever, but when it comes to like liners, I don't know, I get really grossed out by that. So mascaras. First, the ones I use every single day are the They're Real mascara, the They're Real tinted primer, and this Buxom mascara is like my new favorite mascara. I love this. So these are the ones that I use and love and adore. Let's see. This is an old tinted primer, so I need to throw it away. This is my backup tinted primer. I love the Stila Huge. I think it's a great chunky mascara. I wouldn't repurchase, but I really have enjoyed it. I love the Roller Lash. This mascara is fantastic. I would highly recommend it. The Lash Sensational sucks. I hate this. It is not a dupe for the Roller Lash. It's just not good. So I'm going to throw that away. And then the Lash Paradise is not even a dupe for Better Than Sex. It's just terrible. I wouldn't recommend it. It dries up. It's crackly, crumbly, chunky, just not good. The L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. This is the waterproof. I love using this for brides, for wedding, for makeup you want to last all day. This is the best mascara for false lashes. So it's great. I use that one all the time. And then I love this Catrice Rock Couture Mascara. It's awesome. It's kind of a dupe for the They're Real mascara. So I might be doing a video comparing those two, but we'll see. And then for eyebrows, this is the Make Me Brow from Essence. I love this. I use it all the time. And then the Chela Clear Brow Gel is fantastic as well. And you guys know my everyday brow pencil is the one from ColourPop in the shade Blondie. I love this. I just purchased a backup and I'd highly recommend it. So here are the mascaras I'm keeping. Yeah. Okay, so moving on. We're making great progress. Now let's get into powders, because we got a bunch of them and it's time we go through. So just so you guys know, my everyday bronzer is the Butter Bronzer. I love this. It is so natural. It's so beautiful on the skin. It goes in my everyday box. And recently I've been really using the Hoola by Benefit, and I've been loving this as well. So if you guys want a video comparing these two, I can do that. But yeah, favorite bronzers, they're in my everyday box. And then this bronzer from ColourPop, I don't like. It didn't work out for me. It's a little too red toned and I just didn't like the way it looked on my skin, so I will be decluttering this. I will be hanging on to the Bronze Booster from Physicians Formula. I don't use this all the time, but it's a really great contour powder, and so it's really great to hang on to that. I'm going to just throw this away. This is broken. It's hit pan, and yeah. Ever since I bought the Wowder, I just haven't needed another translucent powder, so I will also be getting rid of this one from Rimmel. It's the Stay Matte Powder in Translucent. This is all I need. This is all you need, you guys. It is the Wowder in the shade, I think, light medium, and I love this. It goes in my everyday box. Also in my everyday box, I've got the High Beam. I've been trying this out, and I've been loving it on my skin. I think it's amazing. So these are both powder foundations from Tarte in Fair Honey and Fair Light Neutral. I love these. I'll be hanging on to these. It's my favorite powder foundation to use on myself, on brides. And then the Coty Airspun powder. This is fantastic. I've actually repurposed it in one of the old containers of these, and this makes it so easy for travel and nothing spills because this container is awful. But yeah, love this powder. It's great for baking, and I've had it for so long and I seriously can't use it up. Like, there's so much of it left. So there's my powders, what I've decluttered. And now let's move on to primers, and then we'll be finished. So that's super exciting. Primers and concealers. So let's see. First we'll do concealer. This is an old Wet n Wild concealer. I need to throw this away. You guys can see I have repurchased 2 of them. I love this. I have 2 different shades and it's my favorite. I'm also going to throw away these 2 concealers because they're really old and I haven't used them in a really long time. Let's see. Oh, I thought I threw this away already. This is the e.l.f. Brow Gel. It's disgusting. We're throwing it away. I will be decluttering this Urban Decay Primer Potion just because it kind of burned my eyes and I really didn't like it on my skin, and I'll be throwing away this e.l.f. setting spray because it is all used up. And all these I'm going to keep. I love the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, the Becca Primer, the First Aid Beauty Primer, Baby Skin from Maybelline. I almost said Madewell. It's not from Madewell. And then this is a great setting spray from Wet n Wild, but it has a lot of alcohol in it, so please close your eyes and don't open them too soon. You really want this to dry. But yeah, so there you go, you guys. That is it. If you guys want to see a full face of my everyday products, I would love to do that for you guys because it's like my holy grail routine. But here's everything that I'm keeping. I feel really good about kind of what I've gotten rid of. And then here's my declutter box. So I'm going to kind of go to all my friends, cleanse and sanitize all this makeup, and then see if my friends want any of this. And then if not, I will throw it away or donate it. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry this video was so long and a little bit shaky, but I'm so glad you're here. Please stick around by subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below what you'd like to see from me next, and I'll see you guys next time on my channel. Bye, y'all.